Hello, this is flame tester cabin according to the UL94 standard from HP Plastic Machina for determining the resistance of flammability for different materials. Let's take a look into the device. Here from the back side you have ports and inlets, a gauge and a regulator for inlet the pressure air for using the pneumatic jack for activating the burner. Here you have the gas supply port with the valve. Please pay attention for setting the inlet pressure below 25 millibars from your gas balloon with the proper regulator and gauge separately, and set the pressure below 25 millibars for safety reasons. And also you have electrical port connection, single phase 230 volts. Here in the right side we have an access for the electrical panel. We have a safety switch and also the relays and the connections. In the main view of the machine, here we have the control panel. In the control panel we have counter for the cycles. We have two timers for flame application and cease flame time. Here we have a switch for defining the test mode, manual or cyclic mode. The start button for starting the test and cycle, and we have two different timers here for measuring after flame and after glow time. Also the main power is here. You have a switch for cabin light. In the back side of the main panel we have two different flow meters, rotometers, flow meters type. One of them for 50 watt flow, 50 watt test, and the other one for the gas flow in the 500 watts test. Also you have a pressure gauge here. This gauge shows you the back pressure of the burner. It means that the gauge doesn't measure the inlet pressure of the gas supply. You need to set the gas supply pressure separately from your balloon or your natural gas network, and this gauge only activates when the flow goes to the burner, and when the valve of the flow meter is closed or shuts, you don't see any pressure in the gauge. Okay, let's take a look into the cabin. Let me turn the light for you. In the cabin you have two different sets of fixtures, triaxial fixtures for moving freely and setting the sample position. One of them according to the standard for the horizontal test, HP in the standard, and the other one is used for vertical test, VMO in the standard. Okay, we have burner set here and standard type Bunsen burner, a fixture for setting the angle of the application of the flame in two different angles according to a standard, 20 degrees and 45 degrees. Also you have means here for setting the height of the burner by losing this exit screw. You can change the height of the burner from the bottom. We have a set of pneumatic jack and rail that allows to move the burner toward to the sample or seizes the flame away from the sample, like I show you here. You see, and Also, for setting the speed of the moving the flame toward or away from the burner, from the sample, you have two different flow valve controls here. By losing or opening these valves, you can set the speed into the 300 millimeter per second that mentioned in the standard. We provide for you a mirror for looking into the back side of the sample during the test with it. You have two different stencils according to the standard for measuring and adjusting the height of the flame. This one is for setting the height of the flame into the 500 watts, the height of the blue cone and the total flame height, and the other one is used for 50 watt test, flame height of the 50 watt test. Okay, let's run a test. The first test mentioned in the UL94 standard is horizontal burning HB test. Let's take a look into the standard. Part horizontal burning test HB. This is the picture, example picture for the horizontal burning test. The support or the fixture of the sample must be inclined with the angle of 45 degrees, and also you have set the flame angle into 45 degrees. This is provided for you in the cabin and you can use it. Okay, for horizontal burn we have a sample with a standard size 13 millimeters and 125 millimeters. You need to mark the sample. First mark 25 millimeters from the open end of the sample, and the second mark 100 millimeters from the open side of the sample. For running the test, you need to put the flame to the blue side of the sample for 10 seconds, and after that you need to measure the speed or the amount of propagation of the flame into the sample between these two marks. After adjusting the sample, you need to adjust the flame. For 50 watt flame you need some requirements. For example, standard mentioned that the flow rate, the gas flow rate must adjust to something about 105 milliliter per minute, and back pressure less than 10 millimeters of water. Okay, you have access to these settings, and proper flow meter provided for you in the cabin to set these requirements. By these requirements, the height of the flame and the burner, the blue flame of the burner, must be something about 20 millimeters height. Okay, to the next page. Okay, in this page it mentioned that you need a fixture for non-self-supporting materials that we provide you in the cabin. There are two different types of samples in this test: self-supporting materials and non-self-supporting materials. I will further show you how to use this fixture for non-self-supporting materials. Okay, in the procedure of the test, the standard mentioned that you need to apply the flame for 30 seconds into the corner of the sample, and after that you need to seize the flame away from the sample, wait for the flame reaches to the 25 millimeter marks, and record the time that flame propagates between 25 millimeter mark and 100 millimeter mark. And here you see you have a formula for calculation the speed of the flame propagation through the sample. Here I'm explaining for you how to run a test in the horizontal mode. Okay, you can change the angle of the burner with these two keys. We set into the 45 degrees for the horizontal test. You need to move the burner forward through the sample. I put the test mode in the manual mode. Here in the flame application type, I enter a large number for time. For example, 900 seconds. I set it and I push the start button. The burner goes toward the sample with these handles. Set the position of the sample so that the flame will be placed into the corner, below corner, down corner of the sample. Fix the sample with these handles and this grip. Fix the burner, the screws for the angle of the burner, the screw for the height of the burner, and the screw for the rotation of the burner. Move the burner back by pressing stop button. Here in this part you need to set the flame and flame height and the flow for the flame. First of all, I put back the flame into the vertical position. I connect my gas supply. I set the pressure separately, and by using the flow meter, 50-watt flow meters, I open the valve of the 50-watt flow meters, open the valve in the burner, use an igniter, and by this valve I can set the height of the flame, and by this stencil I can determine that the flame requirements pass the standard requirements or not. Okay, after setting the flame, you need to change the angle back into 45 degrees. And we're ready for test. For running the test, we need to set the timers according to the standard here. Flame application time. I set this timer into 30 seconds. Okay. I reset these two timers. Here, this mode of test in the horizontal test is manual. we need only apply the flame one time to the sample, and after that we need to measure the time of the propagation of the flame throughout the or between the two marks. Okay, I start the test by pressing the start button. Start button. Flame applies to the sample for the specified time we entered here in the timer. Timer is counting until the 30 seconds, and after that the pneumatic jack activates and seizes the flame away from the sample. The flame goes back and away from the sample. If we have propagation of the flame into the sample, we need to start the timer and measure the time of the propagation of the flame between two marks. Here we didn't see any propagation in the sample. Let's investigate another type of the horizontal test. This material was self-supported. In the case of the material or the sample you're using is not self-supporting, you need to this fixture according to the standard size. You place the fixture here. For starting the test, you pushes the fixture to the bottom corner of the free end of the sample, you see here, and after the flame propagates you need to move the fixture manually away from the propagation direction of the sample below the sample. Okay, this way, like this. The other test mode is a vertical mode. First of sets of the test for vertical mode is 50 watts flame test in vertical mode. 50 watt flames. The dimension in the vertical mode is the same in the horizontal mode. 13 millimeters width and 125 millimeters length in the sample. The sample thickness must be between 0.25 millimeter and 13 millimeter. There are different classifications for the vertical test, V0, V1 or V2 that the standard here introduces to you. We don't need it for this video. Okay, in the procedure and here in the example of the test set, you see the specimen here clamped vertically with the distance 300 millimeters or 30 centimeters from the bottom of the cabin. We have the burner placed here. Also in this test we can run the test in 0 degrees inclination or in 45 degrees inclination of the flame. For setting the requirement of test, I should mention that here we should set the timer of the flame application into 10 seconds. Place the burner 10 millimeter below the sample, and also we need the cotton gauze to the bottom of the cabin. Okay, the test procedure is like that. You apply the flame for 10 seconds to the below corner of the sample, and after that put the flame away or seize the flame away from the sample, and you need to record the time of the flame propagation. In the standard we called it after flame time, and also you need to measure the time of glowing material after seizing the flame. We called it, or the standard called it, after glow time. Okay, let's take a look into the cabin and run a test with these requirements. I go forward with the stand of vertical test. Let me shut off the flame. Okay. First of all, I need to adjust the position of the burner below the sample. I use this hex screw for adjusting the height of the burner. As the same as the last part, I need to place the burner toward or below the sample and fixing its position to the 10 millimeters below the corner of the sample. Okay, let's try to see if it's right or not. Okay, that's right. After adjusting, I set the timer of the application into 10 seconds. Okay. I turn around the burner, set the flow as the last time. After setting the flame and investigating the flame requirements, height, flow and pressure, we're ready for the starting of the test in the manual mode for 50-watt test in vertical mode. I set the timer, I put the flame, I set the timer for 10 seconds according to a standard. I press the start cycle. After 10 seconds the device seizes flame from the corner of the sample, and you need to as you see here in the standard mentioned that if after 10 seconds there are no flames and you didn't see any flame propagation, apply the flame for another 10 seconds. And after that, if you see any signs of the flame, use the timer for measuring the after flame time. And after the flame ceases and you see any signs of glowing the material, use this timer for measuring after glow time. The 500 watts flame in the vertical mode, section 9 in the UL94 standard. The apparatus of the test is the same with the apparatus we used in the 50-watt flame. The differences of the test is one of them, the time of the application of the flame, the number of flame application, that we used a cyclic mode, the cyclic mode test here. We must applicate the flame for, let me show you and go to the procedure section. Here you see here there is requirements for the flow and the flame of the 500 watts, something about 965 milliliter per minute for 500 watt flame test. The sample length and sample width is the same with the last part. The height of the flame is different, and you need this stencil for setting the height of the flame, the blue cone height and the total height of the flame. Okay, here mentioned that you need to apply the flame for 5 seconds and remove them for 5 seconds and repeat this operation until 5 cycles, and after these 5 cycles you need to measure after flame time and after glow time in the test, as I showed you in the last part. For setting the mode of the 500 watts, first of all, by using this switch, put the mode of the test into the cyclic mode. Use the counter for setting the number of the tests you need to run. We need 5 cycles here. I press reset button to zero the counter. Here with these 2 timers I set the flame application and cease flame times according to the standard. Both of them must be set into 5 seconds. And I also set the 5 seconds for the cease flame time. I reset these two timers. After setting the timers for the application and the cease flame, and after setting the burner, its position and its height of the flame, we're ready to run the test in the cyclic mode or in 500 mode. Only note that you need a different flow meter for 500 test. If you want to run 500 watts flame test, you need to use this photometer and set the flow in something about 965 milliliter per minute and run the test. Let's run and see what happened. Again, test mode cyclic. 5 seconds of application and cease flame, and then start. After counting 5 seconds, the flame application starts, and this procedure continues for 5 times, and each time the cycle completed, we have a counter here. Okay, 5 times of application completed. After that, measure the after flame time or after glow time. That's it. That's it, and thank you for purchasing this product, flame tester chamber from HP Plastic Makina.